All right, good morning. Jacob here. So I've got one side bent and all of the linings and um, all of the binding bent, ready to go. I have the last side currently sitting in that. It'll sit for a while. It's already been heated and bent. It's just sitting in there and cooling. And while that's happening, I'm going to be working on getting these braces the way they need to be. So what I've done is over here on this side, and I don't know if it's going to show on the camera very well, but I've added a mark every so often that shows me how tall the brace needs to be, and I don't need a much of one. What I will do is then, and I'll show you, I'm going to take my little block plane here, and I'm going to go to that line. Because that's as tall as the brace has to be. Okay. I won't need to take very much off of this one. Okay. So that brace is now as tall as it needs to be. Well, my plan calls for this to be tapered. So it's got to be conical at the top. So my braces are all square, right? So I need to ramp this into a conical. Now what this does is it keeps the brace strong, okay? Because it's the height of the brace that gives you the strength. Width of the brace adds weight. So we reduce the brace to a point up here. We make the brace conical, pointed, and we do this by running along the side of the brace. And you may have to adjust your plane to be able to get it there. And I'm removing it from the side. I'm not removing it from the top. Remember, I've already got that part. So you can see how that's removing. I may go back and add more glue to that. Of course, you have to get good at doing this from both sides. Personally, what I like to do is flip it around. I'm going to continue doing this until I have all these braces reduced like this. Show it to you again. You can see how it's getting very conical. So I'm going to take this and make that. I'm going to do that with all of my braces. This is the back. Okay, so now I have all of these tapered the way I want them to be. Okay, so they are the correct height, correct taper, they are conical. My plan calls for there to be some scalloping at the ends of the braces, and what I tend to do is I mark from the end point of where I have. So okay, before I did any of this, before I cut any of this out, I drew the outline of my template on the guitar. So from that mark, I'm going to come in 50 millimeters, and I'm going to draw a little line on top of the brace. Yeah, that puts it in a different spot for every one of these, but what it does do, though, is it gives me an even reference point for all of them. And then I can take my chisel and scallop those out. Now, I really only want to go down I'm going to mark 4.5 millimeters so I don't take too much off. I'm just doing that down here at the end so I know exactly how far I need to move with the chisel. And it's just a little line right down next to my line is on the guitar, and I don't even know if you can see, just a little dot almost. That just gives me a reference point. So I've got a reference point on the top and I've got a reference point on the side that I can see. With my chisel, bevel down, I'm going to start at my line. Just work my way to the end. Down to my line. And it's okay if past that point it gets out of the way, because that part will not be in the guitar because I'm going to be cutting it back to my line or a little bit back. It gives me my scallop. That's all I got to do on that one. I move on to the next one. Flip around. Don't be scared on this. If the brace is going to fail, you want it to do that now. Because I would rather replace the brace now before the back is already glued on the guitar than afterwards. So, but if you've chose good quarter sawn material, shouldn't be an issue. Go. All right. Back is ready to glue on the guitar. So if you want, here we go.